We're live. Hey, everybody, we're live. Isn't this awesome? So great to be here. I am uh, using a new technology with the Facebook Live. So this is using a different camera and trying to figure it all out. So I'm hoping that it all looks great and you can hear me okay. Uh, and I'm looking here at the camera and then I'm looking down at the screen. So if you see me look up and down, you know what's going on. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Walking the Path. I am so grateful to be here. I'm so grateful for this opportunity. I'm so grateful for this day. And I'm grateful for everything that has transpired to get me to this topic, which is surrender is not being a doormat. Surrender does not mean doormat. And that's what I really want to share with you today because this has been what I've been growing through this last week. And it fits perfectly with what we talked about last week, which was life responds to us at the level of our recognition of it. So it's a perfect connection to last week and this week. So I really want to get into this and keep it really on point. So I got my notes. Hey everybody! Woohoo! You guys doing good? I'll tell you what, I had a little scare this week. I thought I had COVID and feeling really ill. This is one of the things I want to talk to you about in terms of surrender. Um, and I want to share with you what had happened. And I don't have COVID. I tested negative, but I had all the symptoms, and the symptoms continued. And then this morning, they miraculously just are gone. Gone. No more aches and pains, no more sore throat, no more fever, no more chills, no more any of it. I feel great. And so this is what I want to talk to you about. Because if the law of attraction is the secret, then surrender is the key. If the law of attraction is the secret, then surrender is the key. And this is where I want to move today in our conversation. So, 3 situations happened that indicated to me that I needed to focus more on surrender in my life. The first was a situation in my home. The second was this, quote, illness that I was experiencing. And the third is this recognition of all of it is just that surrender is surrendering to what's so. So, if you recall a great book called The Untethered Soul, The Untethered Soul is by Michael Singer, and he wrote another book called The Surrender Experiment: My Journey into Life's Perfection. This book was very impactful to me because it showed me his life. It was showing us how to let go of personal preferences and let life call the shots. If I could let go of my personal preferences and let life call the shots, how much more magnificent would my life be? Now, I know that all of us, I felt like, hey, I'm surrendered in a lot of areas of my life. I go with the flow in a lot of areas. I'm moving in this way in a lot of areas in my life. However, the areas where I don't want to surrender are the exact areas where I need to put my energy. So how do I not let my personal fears and desires dictate life, but simply surrender to what life has in store for me, right? Because that's what happens. My personal desires begin to, excuse me, hey, opening up that third eye. My personal desires seem to be dictating how much life I'm willing to accept. Right? I don't like that. I don't like that person. I don't like the energy I get from them. I don't like this situation. Right? And I'm pushing against it. I am resisting it. And in that way, I'm not allowing life to move through me. I'm stopping life. And then it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. I don't like something. Now this doesn't, again, surrender doesn't mean doormat. But it means to remain in the seat of my observer consciousness, my witness consciousness. That's what surrender means, to remain in the seat of my witness consciousness. Can I observe what life is bringing to me? Surrender is a drop back from the mind, right? The mind that wants to know and control everything. I know I want to know and control everything. Because it would be so much better if it was just the way I think it should be, right? No, because, and here's why. Because spirit, the great universal mind, the love intelligence that governs the universe, knows a hell of a lot more than I do. Right? If there is a consciousness that contains all possibility, then there's a lot of possibility that I'm not even aware of. There's what I know. There's what I know I don't know. Right? Like I know I don't know how to speak Russian, but I know Russian as a language exists. And then there's what I don't know. I don't know. I don't even know I don't know stuff. There's stuff out there I didn't even know I didn't know. That's where life gets juicy. And when I'm trying to control life, I'm stuck in the two realms of what I know and what I know I don't know. And it eliminates the third possibility, what I don't know, which is the broader part of all of existence. How much better could it be? How much more? How good can I stand it? How good can you stand it? When we drop back from the mind that wants to control, it allows that other part of life to begin to emerge in our experience. Surrender to what is does not mean that we're a doormat. It doesn't mean that we're a doormat because things are going to unfold anyway. Life is going to happen anyway. Now, it can happen for us, or it can happen. In other words, it can pull me. I can be pulled by life, or I can be pushed by life. I'd rather be pulled. right? Right? Reverend Michael says you're pulled by a vision, or you're pushed by pain, or you're pushed by pain until you're pulled by the vision. So this is the key. This is the key to our life: is surrender. It's not a white flag. It doesn't mean we don't have a choice. We have choice, right? In fact, Viktor Frankl says that the only ability that we have, the only choice that we have, is how we're going to respond to life. It's our ability to respond that is our responsibility. So being in surrender is a spiritual term that gets misused a lot, but it's a key to any spiritual growth and development. It does not mean you're throwing in the towel. It does not mean white flag. It does not mean that you don't have a choice. It doesn't mean that I'm passive or ignorant or that I'm a victim. It doesn't mean that I'm giving up. Surrender is the opposite of all those things. It simply means that I pause before I respond. I have to stop right here and say, I'm using this new technology and I'm not able to see any comments. I'm not able to see any comments from anybody. So I know that there's comments going on right now, but let's see if something changes. I'm going to change this setting. So anyway, here we are. Back to this. Surrender is the opposite of all those things. Surrender means that I'm not reacting out of old patterns. I'm not reacting out of old wounds. And I'm not reacting out of my old conditioning. We are conditioned to fight and defend. I'm conditioned to give as good as I get. I'm conditioned to not let anything slip by. You say something to me, bam, I'm going to say it back to you. Don't get it twisted. I'm not your fool, right? That's how we're conditioned. Now, surrender is actually a place of unlimited strength. It's a position of power. It's a forward momentum with no attachment to the future, and it has ultimate flexibility. Midstream change. I'm in flow. I'm able to be spontaneous. I stop the internal and the external fighting. We just stop fighting. That's what surrender is. Again, but we're not giving up. We're not throwing in the towel. We just stop fighting what's inevitably going to flow. And then once I stop fighting it, I have more power. I have more availability, more opportunities, more possibilities, more potentials emerge because I'm not putting all my energy on fighting it. Now I can place my energy on how can I flow with it. Now this is a lot easier said than done. And I'm going to share with you some things about me that I'm going through right now. But I want to finish this really like, think of all the energy and time that I spend, you spend in fighting what's inevitably happening. Fight it, like you just can't. You can't stop the flow of water. If you try to cup water in your hands, no matter how tight you squeeze your fingers, it's gonna slip out. So either I can keep trying to fight that, oh, squeeze my finger tighter, 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 or I can figure out another way to get the water, right? Once I stop putting all my energy into fighting this, new opportunities unfold for me, right? For you. It's liberating. It's a liberation of time and energy that allows us to that surrender allows us. Surrender allows us a liberation of our time and energy. It's an acceptance of life no matter what's occurring. We stop being against something and before something. Right? Mother Teresa was asked to march in an anti-war rally and she declined. And her response was, I won't march against anything, but I'll march in a peace rally. Right? In other words, she was for something. She's not against anything. That's a really powerful spiritual awareness. So stop being against something, and what are you for? And it's based on the premise of a spiritual principle that everything is unfolding for our good, that life is happening for us, that fundamentally the universe is good. How do we know that fundamentally the universe is good? We know fundamentally that the energy and source of life is good because it can't destroy itself. That's the first law of thermodynamics. Energy is neither created nor destroyed, but transferred or conveyed into various forms. Well, if energy isn't created or destroyed, that means it's eternal. That's a lot like the spiritual principle of God or the love intelligence or the universal mind, without beginning and without end. And therefore, it can't destroy itself. Therefore, it's fundamentally good. It can't go against itself. It's fundamentally progressive. It's fundamentally expansive. So we know that life is good because it can't contradict itself. It can't take itself down. It can only increase. So fundamentally, on a universal level, life is good. Now, if I'm fighting against it, I'm perpetuating that struggle. But when, if I'm in a river, caught in a current, and I fight against it, it's going to take a lot of energy and a lot of effort, and I'll probably lose. But if I can go with the flow, maybe as I'm flowing down the river, I can catch on to something, right? Maybe I can get myself over to the side, right? In other words, this is the key to surrender. Now, I want to make this personal. I want to share with you some stuff that I'm going through. The first was this illness, right? I was feeling really tired Monday, really run down, and it was that, like, my mind was going, you're getting sick, and my spiritual mind is, you're not getting sick, that you're healthy, your body temple is healthy, your body knows exactly what to do, it's a self-healing mechanism, I don't need to buy into this sickness, and I pushed through, got through my day, and I went and worked out, and the workout was hard, man, it was like, ugh, every time, I'm just thinking, am I a wuss? Am I just a wuss here? In fact, my buddy that I was working out with was like, berating me. Like, come on, your energy is important to everybody else. It's not just you. And I'm like, oh, I just can't. I'm done, like, and I finished the workout and I was walking back to my car because we're working out outside. I'm walking back to my car and I got the chills. I mean, like down to the bone chills. And I got in the car, and it's summer in Los Angeles, August in Los Angeles, and I got the heat on in the car. Driving home, it was everything I could do to get from my car to my apartment. I jumped in the covers, and I'm freezing, and then I'm hot, and I'm freezing, and I'm shaking, and my muscles are sore, and I'm like, I'm sick. Guys are, whether you're gay or straight, it doesn't matter. Guys are the biggest wusses, right? I'm like, in bed, oh, I'm sick. And I kept trying to get out of that mindset of I'm sick. I didn't want to buy into that. And then the fears around COVID. Is it COVID? I mean, it's all the things. It's fever, chill, aches, pains, all the flu-like symptoms. It's COVID. Holy shit. So Tuesday, I was able to go get a test. Test came back negative, but I still had the symptoms Tuesday night, all day Wednesday night. I just was in bed. I worked yesterday, but the whole time, a friend of mine said, oh, you got the chills? That's not illness. That is your 11th chakra. your hands and your feet. The 11th chakra is the inside of the bubble. It is your electric body. I had 2 friends say that to me. Oh, you got chills? That's just your 11th chakra expanding. You're upgrading your electric body, right? We have all these subtle bodies. And I was like, okay, I'm down. And then people would say, how are you feeling? And I had the choice in the moment to not want to deny what I was experiencing, but also not want to buy into the story. So can I surrender to what my body is experiencing? I'm not denying that I'm feeling flu-like symptoms, and I don't feel like I normally do. And what's my interpretation of it? Is it COVID? Is it I'm sick? Or is it I'm upgrading? There's something upgrading in my body. My body is a self-healing mechanism that knows just what to do. It's healing itself right now. Right now. Every organ, action, and function in my body is healing. I see it. I'm taking vitamins. I'm doing my stuff. I'm drinking water. I'm drinking electrolytes. All the things that we're supposed to do to take care of ourselves. And the mental aspect is so key. I'm surrendering to what's so. I'm not fighting. I'm not sick. Everything's fine. No. But I'm also not buying into a story of sickness. I'm interpreting it as health, as upgrading, as expanding aspects of my subtle bodies. So when the great master teacher Jesus says, don't get caught up with appearances, he's not saying to deny the appearances. When he looked at Lazarus, he said, obviously the guy's dead. He's going to raise him from the dead, right? But the unreality of the circumstance lies in our interpretation of it. When Jesus looked at the 2 loaves of bread and the 5 fish, and there were thousands of people that needed to be fed, he didn't look at it and go, holy shit, we don't have enough. He looked at it and blessed it, and it multiplied. Our power is lying in our interpretation of the situation. Our surrender is in acknowledging what's so, not denying it. That's the surrender. And the power of the surrender then comes in our ability to respond, Viktor Frankl, our ability to respond to the external stimuli of life and reinterpret them in a powerful way. So here's another example. I have a housemate that's been my housemate for years. We have a great relationship because I'm gone so much. It's nice to have somebody here at the house, and it works out for both of us. Well, I also am sort of a hermit. I'm really extroverted in life. I go out, I do lots of things, I'm out a lot, but when I'm at home, I'm a hermit, and I want my home to be my sanctuary. Well, my housemate has a new love in his life, and they're very happy. And he wants to have her over. Well, I'm not up for that because I want my home to be my sanctuary, and I was really clear about that in the beginning. But that's not what life is presenting to me. And what I noticed was that I am resisting having someone else in the house. I don't want that, right? Where am I resisting? And my resistance is, look, I am expanding in all sorts of areas of my life. I'm doing all this. I'm doing my meditation. I'm doing my journaling. I'm doing my physical work, my mental work, my spiritual work. I'm pushing boundaries at work. I'm pushing boundaries in my personal life, my professional life. I'm doing all this stuff. I don't want to deal with this. This is my home. I don't want to deal with that, right? Resistance, high resistance. So I'm able now to interpret this as an opportunity for me to break through and stop the mind, to drop the mind that's trying to control and know, and let go of my personal preferences and let life call the shots. Who knows what's going to emerge from a knowing somebody else, right? Who knows? Can I drop the mind that wants to control and know, and can I then allow life to call the shots? Can I be in flow of life? Can I be in flow of life, and instead of putting all my energy on resisting and blaming and being upset, can I go with the flow and then see where I can put that other energy? Where can I put that energy that's no longer being used in resistance? So this is the truth that life responds to us at the level of our recognition of it. That was our talk last week. Life responds to us at the level of our recognition of it. So, how am I recognizing life? I don't like this. I don't want this. I don't want to deal with it. Or, life's leading me here. All right, I'm noticing my resistance. Okay, I'm going to surrender. I'm going to let go of the mind that wants to control, and I'm going to allow life to call the shots and see what emerges. How much, and this is the truth of Michael Singer's book, The Surrender Experiment. Because at every point when he did that, at every point, life showed up better than he expected, bringing something from what he didn't know, from the realm of the unknown, complete unknown, into his life, expanding in a way that is unbelievable. This guy started from being an economics professor that he didn't even want to be, and moved from opening up a construction company to an ashram to the largest medical billing computing center software company in the world at the time, and then a huge FBI crash and an author and FBI investigation. I mean, it's an amazing story, but it shows that at every moment when he was saying, I don't want this, I don't want this, I don't want this, and he did it because that's where life was leading him, bam, something from the field of the unknown came into his experience that was better than he could have ever imagined. So that is the key, right? If the law of attraction is the secret, then the surrender is the key. And with these tools that life is for me, it's happening for me no matter what the appearances are, I can move into surrender a little bit more easily and stop being against something and begin to be for something. All right. I think that is the talk today. I am so grateful that you all joined. I'm sorry that I missed your comments. Hello to everybody who's always joining. I see the numbers are there, but I don't see any comments. So I am just so grateful. We'll figure out the technical glitch, and I look forward to seeing and speaking with you soon. Don't forget, tomorrow, Kim Terranova. And Monday, we have a great conversation on Rise Up, Evolutionary Conversations from the Emerging Paradigm. Thank you so much. Peace and blessings. Have a brilliant weekend. Bye-bye.